Back with you at Taking Flight with me. My name is Mike Rocket Blackstone. You won't believe this, and I didn't believe it this morning when I got up and I could see that the New York Times now is confirming an additional object. They're calling it an object because they're not sure what kind of flying machine it was, but another spy craft was spotted over the northern Alaskan border, and they had to shoot it down. So yet another drone / spy machine has been shot down in American territory. That's 2 in a week. China's putting the full court press on. Without further ado, I'm going to take you to the New York Times. A little story here, and it's reported by the New York Times, but this is John Kirby from the White House. Let's listen in.
I can confirm that the Department of Defense was tracking a high-altitude object over Alaska airspace in the last 24 hours. The object was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet and posed a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian flight. Out of an abundance of caution and at the recommendation of the Pentagon, President Biden ordered the military to down the object. And they did, and it came inside our territorial waters. Those waters right now are frozen, but inside territorial airspace and over territorial waters. We're calling this an object because that's the best description we have right now. We do not know who owns it. We do expect to be able to recover the debris since it fell not only within our territorial space, but on what we believe is frozen water. So a recovery effort will be made, and we're hopeful that it'll be successful, and then we can learn a little bit more about it.
All right, so check this out. So we go into the article here. You read down through this thing. I've already just checked it out, and from Washington, reporting from Washington, that this thing, less than a week after the giant balloon that was shot down off the coast of South Carolina, they've had to engage and shoot down a second craft. This time, it's the size of a small car versus the spy balloon that was shot down that flew over the entire continental United States, lower 48, as well as Alaska. Parts of Alaska as well, was the size of like a small, they said like an Embraer. This thing was like the size of an airliner, a fuselage of say a small RJ. This one was of interest to the United States as well, because in this article it talks about the altitude being in the 40,000 foot range, which is the altitude of airliners. And how would you like to be motoring along in your airliner at 500 miles an hour and literally run into an unmarked car, parked car that's not moving very fast and could possibly fly into a drone, if you will, some sort of a drone that was flying at 40,000 feet, the size of a small car. So the saga continues. China's definitely ramping up its surveillance capabilities. That last situation that we saw with the large balloon is now being recovered. They're showing signs that it is mostly a listening craft. From what we understand, it's able to listen to radio frequencies and tap into other radio frequencies that they found antennas on this thing and various other listening devices. It had solar panels, so it was self-powered, and I believe that they also found some signs of motorized propellers like we had talked about originally. Somebody even said they saw a rudder. I don't know if that would be effective at high altitude, but certainly at lower altitudes, you can steer it with some sort of a rudder or differential thrust from the electric propellers. This is serious. This is a serious threat. These are serious surveillance pieces of equipment. It's been going on for several years, and this is the most advanced tactical targeting listening device that has ever been created and found, and it went undetected. We are up in arms. We should be up in arms. We should be very, very nervous about what's happening here and acting with a high level of scrutiny, a high level of caution, and a high level of seriousness as this thing progresses forward. So stay tuned. This is getting crazy this week. We're taking flight with Michael Rocket Blackstone. I'm your host, and I will see you in the next video.